Hi, everybody. It's Amber. It is January 3rd, but it doesn't matter when this message finds you. I wanted to. This is a timeless message, is what I'm saying. I wanted to speak to the brothers and sisters that are, there's a lot of prophetic words coming out right now. There's been a lot of prophetic words coming out, and it seems like prophetic voices are rising more and more every day. So what do you do when you have all these prophetic words and words that God Himself has spoken to you, words that God has shown you through His word, words that other people have spoken over you, and they have resonated with your spirit, and you're like, yes, I know that that's true. God is going to do that in my life. This is going to happen. And it's so exciting when you get a word. But then when it doesn't happen, what do you do with that? What do you do when you feel like you're getting left behind? Like you know that you're saved, but you see all these brothers and sisters around you rising into their callings like these prophetic words have spoken, and then you look around at your own life and you're like, well, looks pretty much the same here. What do you do with that? You know? So I am here to talk about that because that's where I have been recently, feeling left behind. Like, I don't understand, God. Like, you keep telling me in all these different ways that, this is going to happen, or this is going to happen, or this is, just all these different things. And you're like, and I'm still doing what I've been doing. For me, I'm still a stay-at-home mom, cleaning houses once a week, living the dream, And I'm very blessed. I don't want to discount the blessings that God has given me, but I feel like I have allowed myself to get to the place where I'm like, I just need more. It's not enough. It's not enough, right? So I cried out to God a couple days ago, and I use the words cried out loosely. I mean, there was a lot of crying, but I was very upset with Him. Like, God, I don't get it. Like, where are you? Where are you? You just keep speaking these things and then doing nothing. Like, hello? Do you ever feel like that? Have you ever felt like that? Do you feel like that right now? I imagine you wouldn't have clicked on this video if you don't. But, so I'm going to tell you a cool little story, and then I'm going to tell you what you do, okay? So, a couple days ago, I cried out to God probably 5 days ago, and 2 days ago, I was at the DMV with my oldest daughter, who was 16, and so it was her and her friend, who was also 16, and then I had my other daughters, age 6 and age 4. And so we go to the DMV, and we're parked quite a bit of ways from the door, and it's cold and the wind's blowing. And so we all get out, and it takes a little longer for the 4-year-old to get out because she's smaller, she's younger. I have to unbuckle her. Like, she still has like a safety seat. And so it was cold. So the 3 older girls, my 6-year-old, my 16-year-old, and her friend, they were like, Mom, I'm just going to go up to the door. Like, I'm cold. I have to go in. I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking my 16-year-old is just going to go through and do her thing because we're here for her, right? So they start walking, and I'm behind with my 4-year-old. Her name is Hazel. And we've only taken a couple steps, and she's like, Mom, I'm too tired. I can't walk. And I kind of chuckle because I'm like, honey, we just got out of the car. But, I'm like, okay. And I said, and so I pulled her up onto the sidewalk, and the older girls are still walking, and I said, do you want me to carry you? And she's like, I'm okay. She just suddenly found some strength. And I'm like, okay. And the wind's blowing, and it's cold, and I said, do you want me to zip up your coat? She's like, yeah. I said, okay. And so I have to put all my stuff down that I'm carrying. I have to put it all down. And so I bend down and I'm zipping up her coat. And she looks over at the older girls, and they're like way far ahead of us now. And she said, "They're leaving without us." And it made me tear up because I'm like, I know exactly how you feel, sweetheart. But I said, actually, I didn't really think about it until later, like the full implication of it. But I said, she said, "They're leaving without us." And I said, "It's okay. I'm here. I'm with you." And I started to realize God was moving. And so I zip up her coat and we start walking. And by now, the older girls are already inside the building. And so we keep walking. I said, "Do you want me to carry you?" She's like, "I'm okay." And then for a little bit, she starts to walk a little faster, and I said, "Ooh, you found some strength." She's like, "Yeah." And it didn't last too long. She took a few more powerful steps and then she slowed back down. And I said, "Hazel, you're stronger than you know. You're stronger than you know." So then we continued on and we get to the building. And once we get to the building, we get to the door and I see my older daughters and they're waiting for us. They hadn't gone through. They could have. They had everything they needed to go through the line, but they waited for us. And so that's the end of that story. Well, then we went and did stuff at the DMV. The end. But, later, God really showed me, because I feel like I'm getting left behind. I have sisters. I was invited into this group that I very much believed I was supposed to be in. And I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying I very much believed I was supposed to be in that group. And so it's this group full of women who have amazing stories, just like all of us. And they have amazing testimonies, and they're coming up higher, and they're like actually posting about things, and they're actually dipping their toes in the water, and they're trying, and I admire that, because I would say, because I'm not doing that yet, I'm doing a video on YouTube, but I don't feel like I'm doing that. I don't feel like I'm going anywhere, right? So it seems like I'm getting left behind. And so it's like I want to catch up with the girls, right? But maybe I'm just not ready. Maybe I'm just not there. Maybe that's not the group. I don't know what the answer is. But this is what I know. This is what God showed me. Hazel felt too small, too weak, too inadequate to even walk, let alone keep up with the older girls, right? And so she said, "Look, they're leaving us behind." But I knew that she was fine because I was with her. Nothing was going to happen to my baby because I was there, right? So God is just saying to those of you who feel like you're left behind, it's okay. God's here. God's right here with us. And what's really cool is when Hazel and I caught up to the older girls, they hadn't moved ahead. They waited for us, right? So we still got to go with the group that we thought we were going with, that we came with, just not in the timing that we thought. So it's so cool. God's like, nothing's out of timing. You're not being left behind. I've got everything under control. I'm here. I'm here. So, to answer the question, what do you do when you feel like you're getting left behind? Because for me, I'm like, because because I started a 3-day water fast. It didn't last too long. So then I modified my fast. So it's now an easier but still challenging fast for 7 days instead of 3. And I don't feel like it's been very successful, but I think it is because I've noticed things about myself, character flaws about myself that I thought were handled. So, for me, I think it's a time of, you're just not quite ready yet, honey. And that's okay, because I'm here. I'm with you. And I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. And we will continue working on you until I come to get you. Simple as that. It really is that simple. So if you feel like you're getting left behind, you're not. God's there. And when the timing is perfect, God will move. He will. Thank you. And it's okay. There's nothing out of timing. We're good. We're good. So what do? We stay faithful. We stay faithful in the season that we're in. We stay faithful in where God has placed us now. For me, it's a stay-at-home mom. And I struggle with that because it doesn't, how do I say? The work doesn't feel very impressive, right? Wiping butts and breaking up fights and getting snacks every 20 minutes. And it's like the house is never clean. It doesn't matter how many times you clean it. You're not even finished and they're already messing it up again, But this is where I'm at. This is where God has me. And so I guess it would be best not to fight the Lord. Oh. Wow. It's best not to fight the Lord. I hear you, Papa. And that's not like a threat, like, it's best you not fight me. It's like, it's best for you if you just cooperate with the process. And no matter what part of the process you're going through, God says, I'm right here. I've had thoughts of the future and various different areas of my life, and I start to get really afraid. And one time recently, and it was beautiful, I had all these anxious thoughts. I'm like, well, what if this, and what if that, and what if this, and what if that? I don't know, I'm so scared. And Jesus very sweetly said, I'll be there with you. I'll be right there with you. What else do you need? Thank you, Father. Well, hey, if nobody else needed this video, I did. I love you guys. I've not wanted to pursue doing these videos because if things don't take off, the second I start them, then I'm like, it's not working, forget it. But God really cares about you. He wouldn't have me make these videos if he wasn't trying to reach you. So, if you see this video, you are loved. Beyond comprehension. I can't comprehend it, but man, it's good. So anyway, all right. I love y'all. You're not stuck. You're right where God wants you. So just embrace it. Best not to fight the Lord. Love y'all. See you soon.